Eyeballs and head jokes.
3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the special Labor Day edition of Eye Pokes and Head Chokes. There's nothing special about it. It's episode 188. We're here. It's Mr. Alex.
Well,
with Mr.
I'm bright.
Kulo.
You're not.
You're bright, you said?
I'm bright.
Yeah, you're very turquoise-ish today. Like, I'm just, like, tired from literally doing nothing at work. I mean, we did some stuff, but it wasn't enough to, like, really... Whatever. We're here. We just had All Out happen this weekend. Overall, pretty solid. But on top of that, we have, like, other little tidbits of news from WWE, Impact, and what was the other one that you said? And it's just like indie wrestling, technically David Arquette thing. So like we could start out with the small things and then end with the AEW review, pretty much. So to begin, we have Vince McMahon losing his fucking mind with WWE and trying to tell his independent contractors not to make money outside of WWE by engaging with their fans, because WWE is trying to engage with their fans and make money for WWE instead of for the independent contractors that, you know, technically aren't actually employees of WWE. Like, I would understand if they were actual employees of WWE and receive benefits and all that shit, but honestly, to try to limit their exposure outside of WWE, like that's not fair. Because people should be able to build their own brands outside of it. Because if you decide to leave WWE, like WWE will own all your shit outside.
100% of your fans should not only be WWE fans, or wrestling fans.
Absolutely.
And 9 times out of 10, that is the case, because we've seen this in 2016, 17 when Cody appeared on. He appeared as I think Samson in Arrow, and a lot of people did not know this. Like, had he still been under contract with WWE, or if they were on good terms at the time, WWE would have promoted this. Or
exactly.
Like, I get it, but no, that should not be the way. And I do get it from Vince's standpoint. These are names that I own. My company owns this. My company owns even down to your real name. Some of them
own the people,
which is really crappy.
But that's also their fault for signing that shit. Saying like, yo, you don't own my real name. Just take that shit off. Like,
But at the same time, it's like if you're somebody like AJ Styles, I'm sure AJ Styles owns his own name. I'm sure a few of them does.
But that shouldn't be the case, though. Just because you're a bigger known name doesn't mean you shouldn't own your own name. If you're a starting up wrestler, that's your legal fucking name. A company should not own the rights to your actual fucking name.
But it goes down to how you handle your own business. It's the same exact thing. Like we know when there's different options to having a business. You can have a partnership, you can have a proprietorship, you can have a corporation, you can have an LLC, you can have a DBA, doing business as your name. And that means you own the name. There's more into that the wrestlers need to know, and anybody that's going into any kind of business actually needs to know, because that's really important, because you need to own your name. You need to own your likeness, and that's what Vince owns.
You need to own your own life. Like, if you can't own your own life outside of the fucking ring, then like you're practically a fucking slave. Honestly, that's what you are. You're a slave to Vince McMahon, and on top of that, like there's no real anything but that. You're a slave to Vince McMahon because you're not an employee. You're an independent contractor, but you can't do shit outside. You can't wrestle outside of WWE. That's an exclusivity independent contractor. I get that. I understand that, but you should be able to have. You should be able to have your own side business. Like I understand the reasoning for why he did it, because apparently, like,
he wants to be the connect. He wants to be the middle.
It's not even that.
That's part of it.
That's part of it. But the big part was that, you know, people were leaking a lot of shit accidentally through their live streams or through the game or whatever the fuck they were doing. Like, they were leaking some things that they shouldn't have. in terms of like, yeah, and that's what I read a bunch from multiple different sources. So I'm like, I get that, but at the same time, like, you can't go ahead and switch it up on them like that. Because like, what, you're gonna start trying to tax fucking up, down, down? No, he built that shit outside of WWE. Like, you can't. You don't own anybody's thing. I don't give a fuck what you say. You can't own a person. That's literally slave. You could fucking just pull up the Constitution and be like, hey,
Slavery.
Exactly. Either
It's
way,
a reason.
I don't.
So they're not digging.
Nobody agrees with that at the end of the day, man. Like,
Of
it's
course
just,
not. Of course not.
let's just move on from this shit. I'm over. I'm gonna cut half of this out anyway because like we're just literally running around the same subject anyway.
Nah,
So
we're done. You don't even have to. If you
no, I'm cutting half of this shit out. I don't. I honestly don't care that much for it. I mean, I do, but because it's fucked up. But either way, so you said David Arquette. Moving on, we said David Arquette released his indie movie about him wrestling.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
Pretty good. I did watch it. He seems delusional at the beginning. He seems like maybe not. No. I wouldn't even say delusional. I would say more, and I wouldn't say those are the drugs that's being used during the show. I don't think there's many drugs. I think it's more medical drugs. But yeah, those, and they actually try to figure out what's really wrong with him and things like that. But I think he's more, not to say delusional, but more in a childlike state of mind when he speaks or talks about wrestling, and when he actually initially said, okay, yeah, let's do this, because you look at the stuff that he's wearing and it's just like, okay, you're doing too much. The fake gimmick is like, this is the gimmick that would gravitate towards you, but that's not what will gravitate towards the world. So it's a little bit there where it's just like, okay, grow up a little. This is not the 70s, the 80s, the early 90s. This is a different era. This is not the golden era. It's not those eras. This is reality era. Like, you have to grow. And you can tell because he said he hasn't watched it in a while. So when he starts watching it again, sometimes he has to go back to old stuff. It's a really good.
So he's like stuck in the past, in the present of his time when he's doing it.
Yes.
Okay, got it. All right, fair enough.
And even if you watched him when he was in WCW, you see the shit that he wore then. He was pretty much stuck in the past too.
Yeah.
Like, he wanted to be a super villain, not a heel. He wanted to be a super villain. Like, that's what he equated it to.
Yeah, that was the 80s shit. You weren't really a heel. Sometimes you had the super villains in there.
Yeah, so you just see the shit that he wore, and it's just like, come on. And then when he went to like restart, it's like, come on, you're doing too much. But he did some backyard wrestling, and they fucked him up. Young
Good
kids.
for him.
It was young kids fucked him up.
Good
He got a bullshit promoter to put him in it, and he thought he was doing something big. He was like, yeah, no, I'm not good wrestling right now because there's some other shit happening, but I would love to just be there and just talk some shit and just pop up and see what happens. And whatever, they fucked him up.
Where can we watch this?
It's on Amazon Prime for like.
Oh, for real? Okay.
Yeah, for like $6.
I ain't paying for this shit. It's not free.
No.
Negative.
I watched.
I'm looking on the network. Just saying.
It should be on the.
It's on the network.
It has to be on the network.
Yeah.
It's on one of those networks.
One of them.
On the network.
On the network, on network A or B or C or D, whatever. But yeah, I'll check it out if I feel like spending $6, or if I find it on the network, I'll check it out eventually.
But it's a really good redemption story when you get to the end of it.
Okay.
Seeing how much he's grown from that first costume to that last year. Oh my God, I'm really pissed off that we only went to go see, that we didn't really get to see any indie shows during WrestleMania weekend last year. Because he had one. I don't give a fuck
about his, man.
I don't care.
I wouldn't have gone.
He was a part of one. I would have. You would have won if you would have saw who else was on the card. You would have won because
who
it was
on the card.
I'm not really sure at this moment.
All right then, shut up.
Either way, it was the card that he was on for his highest of highs. It was a good card. you know it's going to be a good card. He's going to bring the TMZ eyes and shit like that, but you're going to stay there to watch everything else. It's New York. It's WrestleMania weekend. What the fuck do you think is going to happen? Like, remember, you were supposed to go to Wale Mania. We went to, like, me, Tevin, and E went to Wale Mania. Dope shit. So you can only imagine that. I think it was on the same night as well. So you can only imagine who was going from one show to another show. But yeah, we could get.
You said that Eric Young is now the Impact World Champion, correct?
Yes, Eric Young took it from Eddie Edwards. I'm not mad at that. I want to see Eddie Edwards. Actually,
kind of done.
He's been. I think he's 2-time Impact World Champion, which is not bad. But I want to see more from him. Like, he doesn't get the just due, and maybe it's the company he's with.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's in a space where he might be able to get a non-exclusive contract.
Might be at this point,
or at least a short-term contract in AEW for like 6 months or something like that, and then come back and bring some more eyes back to Impact. And I'm just gonna echo the sentiment that Moxley had after AEW, after All Out. He said he wants to work with
all of them,
everybody.
Yep, and they should be at this point.
He wants to work with everybody.
They should be setting the standard for that. Like, hey, we're AEW, but we want to do things differently from WWE. We want to work with everybody. We should be working with everybody. Should be, just because you're working with AAA doesn't mean you can't work with Ring of Honor, New Japan, fucking NWA. Like, you should be at this point.
It would have been amazing.
That's how you stand out.
It would have been amazing if Kenta was in the crowd.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's how you stand out. Yeah, just little pop-ups.
Just in the crowd. Just don't say nothing, but you're
he's just like this.
Just like
with his belt. Just like this.
Not even
without his belt, with the cup. I'll come up exactly with the cup. I'll be like this with the cup, like.
And then it's like, but then he would have had to come out with his title. So either like it just.
That's what I'm saying. It's just
it's really stupid. Like NWA is partnering up with AEW as we've seen. Yeah.
So little by little, you just have to start adding everybody. Like, get over your fucking issues with New Japan and just make money together. Just make money. That's what it's about. You trying to beat WWE? Bring motherfuckers in. It's that simple. At your WrestleMania, bring people in.
Yes. Yeah. And just show other companies and just share the fucking love. Like, I'm still not sure where the fuck Jeff Cobb is signed, and he's still saying they're gonna announce it when the time is right.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where. And
I think it's New Japan.
It most likely is New Japan.
It most likely is.
I don't see it being Impact because, I mean, Impact is the only company that's actually growing as far as the roster goes during this time. Yeah. But it's still, I still don't see it being Impact because they're stuck in limbo when it comes down to national level of just eyesight. We can't see them if it's not on Access or Twitch.
Decent network, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like if you could get the Paramount network, if you could get anywhere on cable TV, that'd be amazing.
Yep, absolutely.
I didn't talk myself out of knowing what I was going to say before that.
It's fine. I mean, we were talking about AEW, so we might as well just move on to the main meat of the podcast today, which is the AEW All Out recap results. I'm just going to run through the card, and then we could just talk about each one real quick before, signing off and all that shit. So in the buy-in, right? Yes. Buy-in, not the buyout. Buy-in, we had Joey Janela versus
No, you have to buy in to go all out.
That's true. You're right. Well, not necessarily. You have to buy in to go all in. That's what it's. That's how it was last time. Yeah, I know.
Originally, I know. 2 years
that's
ago.
how it should have been. Yeah, exactly. So we had Joey Janela versus Serpentico, and Joey Janela defeated him by pinfall. Serpentico, whatever the fuck, man. I don't care.
I
Private Party versus Dark Order, John Silver and Alex Reynolds. Private Party defeated them via pinfall. And then after that, we started the main show with Dr. Britt Baker versus Big Swole in a tooth and nail match at a dentist's office. One of the produced matches, probably the only produced match on the card, actually, which was oh no, there's a poor network connection. Are you back? You back?
Okay, I'm back.
Okay. Give it a couple seconds.
Yeah.
You're back. Okay, there you go. So, Dr. Britt Baker versus Big Swole, tooth and nail match. One of the only, I think the only produced match of the whole.
I'm not calling that produced. If that's produced,
it was slightly produced. You can't say it wasn't. It was slightly, but wait. I had one question. That was Rebby Hardy, right?
No, of course not. That was Rebel. They call her Reba.
Oh, okay.
That's Rebel.
Okay.
No, she's always been around. That just shows how much you don't watch. But but that's fine. But she's not always on. She's just always on with Britt Baker.
Oh, okay. But right. She was the one sitting next to her whenever like she was hurt with her foot and whatever. Yeah, I remember.
So wait, fine. If that's a produced match, then we have to say the boiler room match.
I said it's a half produced match. Like it's not fully produced, but like. It's a regular old school hardcore match that was not in the arena. That's how I take it. That's how it looks to me. I guess
it's a regular hardcore match that was not in the arena.
Okay, that's fair. It just I don't know. It had that produced feel. I'm not saying it was a fully produced match, but like it just had that and maybe that's just because everybody's producing their matches nowadays for their pay-per-views.
It didn't feel that produced to me.
For me, it did. I'm not saying it wasn't a produced match.
I hear what you're saying.
I'm not saying it was, but I don't know. Like you said, it probably was just a regular. I just think because of the fact that we've been seeing so many produced matches over the past like 6 months, it just felt like that to me, even though it probably wasn't. But either way, Big Swole defeated Dr. Britt Baker.
Worst version of a boneyard match ever. Then.
No, there was
the worst, and I like them.
The Boneyard match wasn't the worst. It was actually one of the best produced ones.
Yes, if that's produced, then that's produced.
So after that, we had the Young Bucks versus the Jurassic Express. Young Bucks defeated Jurassic Express via pinfall. It was a great match. I loved the match. I had no issues with it. We had the Casino Battle Royale that had like a lot of people. And the way they did it was a little 26. Weird. The way they did it, like 5 at a time coming in, and then the Joker card at the end.
They've always done
it before. They've done it like that?
That was the third one. Yeah, they did that.
I didn't pay attention to that. Maybe because I always catch it in the middle during the buy-in, and everybody's already in the ring practically.
No, they did it with Jazz and Mercedes at All In, and All In the first one.
So did they do it like that also at
Double or Nothing that we were?
Yeah, when we were, they did it like that.
I don't know if they did that Double or Nothing.
You see. I remember it being just like the regular battle royale. Or I don't fucking know. It just
I don't even think they had a battle royale.
They did.
We showed up late.
No, we didn't.
We didn't show. No, we didn't show up late. I thought we. We showed up in between. No, I went to the bathroom. That's what it was. Yeah. I went to the bathroom and came
so
back.
Lance Archer, Lance Archer won the battle royale. After that, we had Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara that should have been stopped. Matt Hardy defeated Sammy Guevara. We'll get back to that. We had the AEW Women's Championship match. Hikaru Shida defeating Thunder Rosa. Really good match. I had fun watching it. Mm-hmm. And the next match I kind of just like didn't watch. Really didn't pay attention to it. Dark Order versus Matt Cardona, Scorpio Sky, and the Natural Nightmares.
You didn't watch that?
I had it on, but I wasn't paying attention. The good guys won, so that's all you need to know.
The baby faces.
Yeah. And then after that, we had the AEW Tag Team Championship match, Kenny Omega and Adam Page versus FTR. They lost the titles to FTR via pinfall.
Best tag match of the night.
I don't think so. We'll get back to that.
You don't think that was the best tag match?
No, we'll get back to that. Chris Jericho versus Orange Cassidy in the Mimosa Mayhem match. Orange Cassidy defeated Chris Jericho via Mimosa Bath. Good outcome. He should have done what he did in putting him over. So I'm happy about that. I love
Jericho. Jericho does this.
He does what needs to be done. Exactly.
And over again.
He does.
And he's never gonna get shit He's never going to get shit for this.
No.
It's going to be
I don't think he's ever not put anybody over.
Fandango. He's never not done it. He's never not done it.
Yeah.
If you put Fandango over,
and then
you can't say no to anybody else.
Pretty much. If you have, and then after that we had the final match of the night, AEW Championship match, Jon Moxley versus MJF. Jon Moxley defeated MJF via pinfall to retain the title.
What an amazing match!
Good match. I think overall the card was relatively solid, to be honest with you. The whole thing except for Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara. So yeah, like the tooth and nail match, like we already spoke about that. It was a regular hardcore match to you. It had that produced feel to me. It doesn't mean like it actually was. To me, the best tag match of the night was the Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express.
Was the title match too long for you?
I think so.
Okay, I understand.
I think that's why.
It was long, but it was.
But I understand the reasoning for why
it was
longer.
A shit ton of storytelling.
Yeah,
and
obviously
it was very long and a shit ton of storytelling. I like that it was long.
That. Yeah, I appreciate that they were putting the story in there with Adam Page and all that shit, like because it needed to be told. So
and especially with whatever happens next on this Wednesday and in the next 2 months for Full Gear. So absolutely. I completely appreciate it because it's like, okay, it's storytelling because we've been playing at the breakup, the possible breakup. We've been playing at, okay, they built this teamwork for
7 months.
Damn near 7 to 8 months at this point, even though they were already in the faction as a group.
But they never really worked together.
Exactly, not on a 2-on-2 basis or a 1-on-1 basis, however you want to see it. But yeah, like they built them up so much, and they didn't. It was not a bad loss.
No, it wasn't. It was
not a bad loss.
That's like going down swinging at all costs. Like it was. You shouldn't feel bad about that loss, but like obviously for reasons, Kenny felt fucking pissed about that loss to the point where he was about to hit him.
I get it, but I don't get it.
No, you shouldn't. You should not be ashamed of losing like that. You know what I mean? Because you put everything. Both people put everything out there. You're the one that hit him with the knee at the end of the day. Unfortunately,
exactly. So
shit happens. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So
I thought it was going to be the other way around.
Exactly, and it definitely should be the other way around. And just look at, and they both were just like done at certain parts of the match, and then at the complete end of the match, Kenny couldn't get in the ring. He had full view of what was happening. Mind you, Hangman got 2 spike power drivers.
Yeah.
So with that happening, how can Kenny be that mad?
No, I get that, but that's also part of the whole storyline. You know what I mean? Like you said, like it's part of the whole Elite storyline, breaking up, or them just leaving the Elite or whatnot, or him just leaving the Elite. And let's not take away from FTR. They had an amazing fucking performance. Everything that they did, amazing. They were going in. I mean, both teams were going in, 100%. The only reason for me, I think I enjoyed the Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express match more was because I haven't seen the Young Bucks that pissed and ferocious and going hard since New Japan. And I missed that a lot. And I was like, this is what I used to watch. This is what I used to turn on at fucking 4 a.m. to watch, to see them like whoop ass when they needed to. Like they were vicious when they needed to be. Like, they were on point every single time. Like, right when you think the Jurassic Express was about to get the upper hand, nope. It was like, whap, like, and like, they had just this mean streak about them that I hadn't seen in such a long time.
It was very heelish.
Like, and I was happy to see it because I was just like, I haven't seen them like this since New Japan. It's been 2.5, 3 years since I've seen them like this. And it's great to see them like this because that's the best tag team in the world. Like when I saw them like that, I was like, that's what made them the best tag team in the world at the time. And I was just happy to see that. So I think, and on top of that, the Jurassic Express, like they played up to it. They elevated their game to the Young Bucks. So like it made for a very cohesive and also told the story from both ends. Jurassic Express trying to, get one over on them to try to be the next, the next runner-ups. Yeah, exactly. and the Young Bucks being like, hey, we need to get back on this shit. We need to be who we were before, and we need to fuck people up like we used to back in New Japan, which they did. Okay. So I think that, for me, was what made it better. Not hugely better. It's like really, like, honestly speaking, they're like right here, like as close as they can be. Yeah. But like either one has their own merits as to why it should be the better one. To be real,
it's the title match, and we know what the Revival has done in the past. They've had pretty much everywhere they went. They've had titles. They had the pictures up. They had Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and now they have the AEW titles. So,
exactly. So I mean, good on them. It was a great match. Great.
Yeah. So that, and between that and between how good the match was, and like as much as AEW has played up to how good Kenny and Hangman are together.
Yeah.
And then to go that match versus Young Bucks on the mean streak against Lucha Underground, Jurassic Express, actually looking like
close.
Coming very close and looking like formidable tag champs.
Yeah.
Sometime
in the near future, they can be, for sure.
Yeah.
I'd say in the next 6 months to a year, they could definitely be the face of the tag team. Like, legit.
Yeah, I think they need that. They need
to have that mean streak eventually.
Maybe not the mean streak, but they need to have that cohesion. And they have some cohesion, but it's not completely there.
They're still finding it. I'd say they're probably like at 75%, 80% maybe. They just need that extra.
I need them to compete like MJF.
I need them to compete like the Young Bucks did that night, honestly. Like, if you elevate your game to that status in terms of cohesion, then like
what I mean by that is just like more like just consistently and
put in the work consistently,
so that you can consistently learn your partner and their little picadillos. Like, okay, you go left, I'll go right.
The little nuances, like to the point where you don't have to think about it. You're just doing it, and like And the reason why the Young Bucks are so good at that is because they're fucking brothers. Like, they've been doing it for years together. So like when you have like the Lucha, exactly, when you have the fucking you have the Jurassic Express that have been doing it for a bit, but these guys have been doing it all their life. So it's like you don't have to think at all to do it. You already know what the other person's gonna do, and they trust you in what they're gonna do. So there was no surprise in Lance Archer winning the Battle Royale. He was the favorite to begin with. Unfortunately, no, he was. Let's be real.
Okay.
He was.
Was he really?
Yeah, he was. Who the hell else was the favorite?
It could have been Brian Cage.
He already had the title shot, so he wasn't going to do it.
That doesn't mean anything.
No, I know, but they're doing it more on like a round robin thing, if you noticed.
I love that they're doing that, and I have noticed that, but it like even when them two, when they step to each other in that battle royal.
It's God. And I want to see that rivalry eventually. Like it's gonna happen, which I'm happy about it. Possibly happening in the near future, but like it's. I always felt that he was his favorite. Everybody, all the other outlets that I read on, like the previews, they were like, he's a favorite to win it. Because of reasons how they're doing the round robin. He's the next biggest threat to Jon Moxley. Because like you said, they've had these matches before at New Japan for the IWGP US Championship match, and they've had great matches together. So why not pair them up again? We had Matt Sydal come out. Unfortunately, he busted his ass coming off the ropes, trying to do his... it wasn't funny though either, because the way he landed, and this is one of the few times I'm really gonna agree with Sir Wilkins. He was like, motherfuckers is foul for dudes slipping off the shit. Like, he could have gotten really hurt, which is true. Like, he could have gotten legit hurt. He fell on his back, on his neck. Like, thank God they work out enough to
his shoulder. Like,
because it was a legit slip when he was. He's done it a million times. So like, there's no reason to think he would have just fucked it up of just basic fucking it up. It was slippery, most likely, and because people are against the ropes, try not to get off, sweat on the shit. You go up, and unfortunately, it happened. His spot got fucked up, but hopefully, he gets a chance to
redeem himself. I'm sure he will,
and he will.
that was the reveal that he is newly signed with AEW.
Yeah.
So
It sucks that it happened
amazing.
That way. No, yeah,
it's
I'm happy he did.
Amazing that he's signed with them.
Yeah.
And I have not noticed, but he hasn't really been on Impact TV, Wrestling TV in quite some time. So I'm happy he's there.
Yeah. So getting to the Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara.
The other Matt almost died too.
Very, very, yeah, exactly. Very scary fucking situation. I texted afterwards, like, it's like sometimes wrestlers do not understand how physics work. In terms of, like, the funny thing is, both of these fucking wrestlers should understand how physics work because of the fact that, hey, you do high risk maneuvers all the time. So if you have a fucking elevator thing, or I forgot what it's called, scaffold thing that raises up, and the tables are right here, if you run and hit somebody off, you're gonna pass it mainly, and you're gonna.
That's the one thing about being a wrestler. Being a wrestler, being a good wrestler, you should know some sort of aerobics. You should know your surroundings, and you should know the space that you're in and the space that you're.
Spatial awareness is key.
Yeah,
for that.
Yes, you should know. I think it was Matt that lifted them.
Yeah, he did
that high.
He did.
But even
it should have been lower than that too.
It should have been lower. Of course, it should have been.
By at least like 5 feet.
And I'm not blaming him for that.
No.
But still, like, if you know that you're supposed to do this spot, give or take this height, that height, this far away, not this far away.
Like, the thing is, you should be see aware. It from that angle.
Yes, you should be aware, but also the bullshit that they were like, that was real bad to begin with. That spot.
Yeah. Absolutely.
When I said they should have had more than 2 tables there.
You said more than one.
I said more than one, and you said there were 2 tables there.
There were.
It should have been more than 2 tables.
It should have been 3 tables.
Yeah. That spot that they did, that Sammy Guevara. No, I don't care about the tables, honestly. That spot that they did at the end of the match.
Yeah.
It should have looked like that.
It should have. He should have dropped straight down, not fucking flying forward.
Like the pattern for the floor, it should have looked like that or something.
They should have had padding underneath.
That height. No matter, even if the scaffolding, the scissor scaffolding goes all the way higher by accident, and they got to find a way off. I'm not. Who's dropping off of that? Why would you want to drop off that? I'm not even as.
I don't know, man. Honestly,
one table, going through one table for your legs and one table for your back and your head is still not enough for that height.
Not, especially if you don't have padding underneath it. Which, I mean, they might have, but he might have just missed the whole thing on which. Technically,
I'm sure that they
most of his neck and head hit the fucking concrete anyway. So like legit, like
the
match should have stopped right there. They should have not let him continue. I don't know why they did. He was still groggy.
Honestly,
AEW needs to answer for that. I don't give a fuck what the wrestler says. If he can go, he shouldn't have at that point. The doctor should have been like, nah.
TK said some bullshit on I don't want to say bullshit, but yes, it was BS. Not so dirty, but still the same. He said some BS during the media scrum at the end, basically saying, "Oh, we checked with him. Dr. Sampson said he was okay. He like double checked. Nah. Aubrey threw up that X twice. It should have been done
twice. Should have been done on the first one. Should have been done on the second one. Absolutely.
Honestly, I would have been okay with this being 50%. 50% produced. Like, the backstage shit should have been produced, and when you get to the ring, that half is not produced. I would have loved that.
Yeah.
I would have loved that. Like, I love the fact that they're using the stadium. I love the fact that they're using...
I like that they're trying, but like, you gotta be safe.
Yeah, like...
Gotta be safe about it.
And
the second thing is, it looks bad on Sammy Guevara because of the fact that twice
now,
on
everybody.
Yeah, but like more so on him because twice now you've hurt Matt Hardy in the span of a month.
I did not think of that, but oh well. I don't think I really like this is.
They just handled it poorly, honestly.
Yeah, they did. He's in like there is mixed things saying that he's in a hospital. He's not in. He's in a hospital. He's out now. Hospital. Yeah, Yeah, they're saying, oh, he can't get on a plane. Why cannot he? Why
Concussion
can?
protocol. Can't.
Yeah. So if there's but they're saying that he doesn't have a concussion.
No,
If
he
he
has a concussion.
we know he has one, it's fine. It's not fine that it happened. It's
No.
fine that you're actually taking the precautions now that you fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's really it.
I mean, I like we said, we both think they should have stopped the match when she threw out the exit the first time. Like that was it. She should have rang the bell and that was it.
And I get
yeah,
it. It was a match for his career, but at the same time, hey, let him redeem himself on a later date.
Exactly.
I didn't lose.
Like it was a rubber match, but hey, there's extenuating circumstances.
Yeah, let him be as good as he can be after this fact, with the cause of a stop, and say, hey, he's gonna be
win. Be like, you didn't win.
You didn't win, but you didn't really.
Stopped. Exactly.
Yeah, you didn't lose either. It was no contest.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, after that,
oh wait, but yeah, Rebby Hardy was going off.
Of course.
Rebby was going off. She called Matt an asshole. She called him stupid.
That's what a wife should do. I'm sorry, she's right.
No, don't keep going.
What if your ass would have fell off the fucking scaffolding because the concussion really hit you then?
Yeah,
there's nobody there to fucking catch you.
Yeah, you're still trying to get up. You're stumbling. I've seen this happen in real life with.
It was uncomfortable to watch it keep it going. Honestly speaking,
it was very uncomfortable, and it felt like something that I haven't seen before. Maybe I haven't seen with the eyes that I'm watching today.
Yeah. But yeah, moving on. The AEW Women's Championship match. Thunder Rosa put on a good show.
Second best match of the night.
Second best match of the night for sure.
Same thing with the tag match. It's like right here and here is neck and neck. It depends on where they catch you.
No, yeah. Honestly speaking, like it was just good overall. I haven't seen not to shit on like
no, it's no
WWE
shit
either, but like I haven't seen a really good women's championship match in a while. Not to say that,
1-on-1.
Yeah. So like it was just a really good fucking match. Like there were a lot of spots, a lot of heavy hits, like, and it looked like a legit championship match. And what they said was like, yeah, they should be doing champions versus champions. That's what champions should be. Billy Corgan said that himself. Like, yo, we should be doing champions versus champions all the fucking time because champions should be fighting other champions, which alludes to the fact that, hey, we should be working together.
Only thing, unlike the G1 super G1 Supercard from WrestleMania weekend last year. Unlike that, it should not be a unification of the titles.
No, it shouldn't.
But yes, it should definitely be champion versus champion.
Like my champion should be able to go against your champion any fucking time. Like we should have that in not only in contracts, but there should be a working relationship where, hey, I want to fight you. I want to prove that I could beat you.
That's the difference.
And it doesn't even have to be for a championship match or whatever. But hey, like it's my champion's better than yours. Let's get at it.
Speaking of NWA, Nick Aldis is going against Mike Bennett, nice. aka Mike Kanellis.
Nice.
So I'm ready to see that. I'm not sure when that's going to happen. That's apparently happened sometime this month, but
gotcha.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yep. I really don't have any thoughts on the Dark Order on the 8-man tag. Honestly speaking, I really don't.
It was a decent. It was a decent match. It was good for what it is. What I like about those matches is that everyone gets to shine, and at the same time, there is a story part of it.
Yeah.
This is the one thing I've noticed also about AEW is like every pay-per-view, every title is not put on the line, and which is not the worst thing. The TNT title wasn't put on the line this time, but he was still in a match. Same thing with the tag team titles for Double or Nothing, but they were also in a match. So like that's just one thing.
You don't have to put it on the line.
Yeah. But at the same time, you don't have to.
Because they put it on the line on the weekday show sometimes.
Exactly. So it's not the worst thing. So it's just something that I'm noticing, and it's like it's not devaluing the show, and it's not devaluing the title.
Yeah, absolutely. My only thing with the Chris Jericho Orange Cassidy match was it. I think it focused too much around the outside of the ring.
Yeah, because they had two big ass pools.
No, and that's fine. But I think it should have been. I think it should have been one. I think it should have been on the backside of the ring, and I think just going back and forth between each one was just kind of annoying.
The hard cam would have been. It would have been a mess with the hard cam.
It would have. You're right, but it might have not been either. To be real with you, because it would have been in visual of the hard cam. Like that's what I'm saying. It should have been on that side. So like my thing is, I just think a lot of it took too much of it took place on the Mimosa part, which I get. I fully understand. That's the gimmick of the match. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. It was still a good match. It wasn't the greatest match. It was a good match. And I like the fact that Chris Jericho put him over, as he should be, as he did twice already.
So I will say this about that, right? He's gonna put him over once in a regular type of match, but not in like 2-3 regular matches that they have is not gonna end this way.
No, absolutely not.
So
it has to be a gimmick match.
Exactly. So it has to be that.
100%. I understand. I get it.
Yeah, I know.
And then
it was just so fun though.
No, it was fun. It was fun. Because like honestly, if I would have been dipped in that shit, I would have just stayed in there.
I don't know why I would have definitely did that. I would have been like, I would have scooped and I've been like drinking the whole time. And he did, and he spit some in his face, and I would have definitely, I would have found a way to do at least a couple more spots of the Triple H.
Yeah,
with spit take. I would have definitely done that. That
would have been funny. Yeah,
without the pose, but my own little pose or something like that. Yeah, just like because.
Nah, you gotta do the Triple H thing. You have to.
You just you have to.
You gotta do the.
Yes,
you have to.
Most definitely. One, you just have to do it, and two, they really like WWE was really trying to like make everyone just tired of big main event pay-per-views for this month. Like if you notice, we had SummerSlam, and then we had Payback, and then we had.
But that's the difference between AEW and WWE. WWE has one every month.
No, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they were trying
to wear people out. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But people weren't going to be worn out for this shit. They were going to watch it regardless.
Oh, no, you didn't see Twitter.
What?
People were worn out, and people couldn't, like, what?
That's because they decided to watch WWE. That's not their fault. That's not AEW's fault.
Yeah, of course, because I definitely did not watch.
You could have sat out.
I didn't watch SummerSlam.
You could have sat out Payback.
Yeah. I didn't watch SummerSlam, but like one match and Payback, I should have did the same thing.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of the WWE fanboys because you.
Yo, I don't pay attention to those fucking marks. I'm sorry.
I look at them and I'll just be like, and then I'll be
let them stay in their WWE corners with their WWE bibs and hanging off WWE's balls. I don't care. Like they could be like this, hanging off of it, like.
Man, listen, I'll be ready to tweet and then I'll be like. But this is a mark. Let me delete.
No, yeah.
Leave them alone.
It's not worth it. So yeah, moving on to the last match before we
before we get to the last match.
Come on.
I want to
run time.
It's still AEW.
Camera time. No,
I know. I still want to talk about Kip Sabian doing a little promo for his.
Don't give a shit. I'm cutting this part out.
You better not cut it out. Well, he did that, but don't cut it out of the audio then. But he did that little promo for the wedding, and he also did the promo for his Twitch, like he's been doing for the last 2 months. Mm-hmm. He has his sign saying Kip Sabian Twitch or whatever else, and at the bottom of the screen was something different than anything else we've seen. This was the first time we've seen courtesy of AEW. That was the first time we've seen it. And that's the only shot to WWE. Everybody else was saying, oh, the whole thing was a shot. No, Kip Sabian's been doing this for like 2 months. That's not the shot. The shot is this company supports their people and that company doesn't. That's the shot. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking forward to the wedding. I know you don't care.
I don't give a fuck about it. That's WWE shit. If they want to have a wedding, that's fine. Take that shit to WWE. Take that shit to WWE, man. I don't want that shit out here. Nobody gives a fuck.
Penelope Ford is bad. And
but that's not what I'm tuning in for. I'm not tuning in for a fucking wedding. I don't care.
Hey,
I know
listen.
you are. I know you probably watched the royal wedding when they got married in the UK and shit. You're like, oh my god, Prince Edward. So, anyways,
Listen, I love Meghan Markle.
yeah, whatever, motherfucker.
Meghan Markle's bad.
I know she was in the league. Remember, she went out with Pete. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god, she's in so much shit.
It's so
She's
much shit.
amazing. I'll be watching Suits just for her.
So AEW Championship, John Moxley, MJF. I mean, you knew what you're gonna get. Two beasts. MJF, like you could tell he's gonna be the future of wrestling, honestly, with AEW, at least the future of the company, the way he's going. And he's been saying it for a while, and I wholeheartly agree. John Moxley said it himself in an interview after the fact, saying like, yo, he's not lying. He understands the business. He's one of the people that fully gets it. And like he's just, he's there, and he says like verbatim, when I can't go anymore, which might be soon,
he's still gonna
soon
be
in the
here.
future, he's still going to be here. He's going to be the standard bearer, and he's one of the faces of the company, and he's going to take wrestling forward, especially this company. So like, I agree. And he's been putting in that work, and I can't get mad. MJF puts on good performances every single time.
This was his first defeat, his first pin of the year.
Yeah, exactly. I called it the season, but yeah, of the year, exactly. Sure. So like it's same shit. So it's just yeah, and it was a great match and a great loss again. So you can't really get mad about it. You got what you thought you were gonna get out of this match.
He was on Twitter going off. He said a fuck word low.
as he should be. As he should be. So I'm good with it. He always takes it to the end. So
he said, "Are we not going to talk about that man cheated?" He was going off on Twitter.
Facts.
It was amazing. I was like, "Oh man, somebody speed up his Wi-Fi."
Yeah, man. This it overall it was a really good pay-per-view. I had a good time watching it, and yeah, like I'd probably give it like an 8 out of 10. To be real with you. And the only reason it's not higher is because of the fact that that fucking Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara match, to be honest with you.
So the Broken Rules match and the Tooth and Nail match, though
between a 7.5 and an 8, honestly.
Like, I give it a 7.5.
I can't give it below a 7.5.
I can't because
okay, so then we're at 7.75 then.
Yeah, 7.5 because the two tag matches were amazing. All the title matches were great.
Yeah.
Those two tag matches, those two single matches were amazing. Like even with that botch from Matt Sydal,
yeah,
still amazing.
Still a good match, yeah. So
still an amazing match. Like
not too much to really complain about. So
unless you're a diehard of another company who doesn't like their talent, their independent contractors making money elsewhere, and many other things with that company. That's all I'll say about that company. Yeah. Many other things about that company.
Yeah.
Not so good, mostly bad.
Yeah. I think that's all we got, honestly.
Come
on. You're killing my camera. It's probably about to die soon.
All I said was but there are people in the back of WWE that's kicking himself in the ass because they let MJF get away, and they want Lance Archer now. But guess what? Lance Archer just signed a multi-year deal in February. So
fuck him. So with that being said, and with what I said being said, that's the end of the podcast.
What did you say being said?
Said fuck him. I'll say it again. Fuck him. That's the end of the podcast.
Thank
you so much. McMahon. So that's the end of the podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at Pokes and Chokes, myself at _Mr. Alex 35 _ just the one of them. It's the main one. The guy on the other side interrupted me at NU_KEWLA because he's.
I was ready to do
it. Yeah, whatever, motherfucker. You can follow us on Facebook.com/Pokes and Chokes, on Instagram at Pokes Chokes Podcast. Listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. What did I say?
You didn't say Twitter, but I said it, so it's fine.
I did say Twitter. That was the first fucking thing I said. If you paid attention. You piece of shit. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and Transistor FM. Get our shit on Threadless and Redbubble. And yeah, we might be starting a new competition soon. We'll let you guys know once we decide. And yeah, thanks for watching.
It's
thanks for
all
listening.
about the hips and nips. That's it.
Yep.
Hips
and yeah, we'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.
Hips and nips. I've been watching Sunny in Philly. What do you want?
Whatever, motherfucker.
That's
Bye.
my shit.